Updating settings for YouTube, and we are live. Now I'm going to just refresh my. Yep. Now I'm going to Sherry, we're live. Just refresh my. Say something or do an audio test. Sherry, we're live. Refresh my. Say something or Yo, say something.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Hello.
Okay. Sound check, and we're live. So, the we finally got to doing this, huh? It's been a long time coming, but this is the first series of hopefully a lot of talks between you and I on all things related to technology, software. There's a broad spectrum that we have our domains in. We actually have one viewer as well. Maybe that's myself. So today's agenda is looking at what the heck is Web 3.0 and how NFTs and cryptocurrencies tie into it, into the evolution of the internet, and at the end of the day, what it means for us as a current user. Sherry, hi. How are you?
Yeah, how are you? I'm good.
I'm good as well. I saw your
Yeah,
Hulk Hogan
I
recently in a Halloween costume.
that was Hulk Hogan 3.0.
3.0. All
Yeah.
right. So where do we start from? Do we start from Web 1.0? Just
I think we need to look at where we started and where we're going. So just to give some context, this is what this is a very early on image of what 1.0 was.
all
This
static.
is I think we can all remember when internet looked like this.
Yeah, I
When
remember. I kind of remember. This is Windows 98 kind of time, right?
Yeah, when everything used to be very
E-
chunky and
exactly.
monitors used to be bigger than the
Bigger
biggest
than
computer now.
anything, read-only pages, mostly
Yeah,
static,
yeah.
and even very minimal monetization. There weren't many ads out there either.
Uh, yeah, it was mostly just read only. I think ads came in at the latter end of Web 1.0, and there was they started monetizing them end of 1.0 and the beginning of 2.0, where people were more could interact with
Uh huh.
content more freely. Because as you said, this is more just read only, and
Yeah.
this was uh, what 1.0 was you can say like mostly read only, and like
Yep. And this went from
pages had like a
91.
focus.
I believe it went from 1991 to around 2004, where your JavaScript and web development started to, um, uh, you know, evolve.
Yeah, I think the main evolution from what I understand is we changed from read only content to write only, read and write
Uh huh.
content. So users were able to interact and give their input, upload stuff. When cloud computing came into being, and when you could upload things to the database rather than you hosting it all on your computer and other users interacting it on your hosted server or one local server,
Yeah.
it became more of like as internet as the word is, everything became more connected. This picture like explains this pretty well. Web 1.0 was mostly just published. So let's say if you had like a fishing blog, so
Um, Lost your audio there. Can't hear you. But I'll continue till
people had
Sherry.
like a cooking
Oh,
blog
there you
or
go.
like things like that. Hello.
Yeah, now I can hear you. I lost you for a second.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so I was saying like imagine having like a fishing blog or like a kitchen blog or like a food blog. People would upload the recipes and things on their page. It was mostly like forum. and then people would come and read those recipes and articles, mostly on Web 1.0. Then Web 2.0 came when people started to interact with the content.
Yeah.
Networks came into being. There was monetization. People were generating their own content, publishing it on the cloud, uh, and companies like Facebook and uh, Twitter and all these companies started to monetize user data. So they were sort of controlling
Yeah.
uh, like the data and hosting the data and what data, like
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
they were basically mining the data. You understand? They're
Yeah.
categorize putting people into categories and
Yep.
presenting
Yep.
them towards marketers. So
So basically, interactivity, I feel like, was the keyword in 2.0, where in 1.0 we were just being served something. And then it became a two-way interaction in 2.0, where not just their data was being served to us, but a big emphasis started being put on our data being extracted, and we us interacting with these web pages more and more and more, and them soon realizing that the targeted advertisements that they can pull on us using all that data, all those cookies, the profits from that, it could be insurmountable.
oh yeah, for sure. Uh, the way we ended up was, I would say, uh, Web 1.0 was like an existing information, that all the existing information that we had was gathered on a single database.
Yeah.
Rather than Web 2.0 was uh, where everyone gained access and the ability to create information in a global database rather
Yeah.
than a single database. And the global database is controlled by these big companies like Facebook, Google, AWS, all these
Mm-hmm.
companies.
Mm-hmm.
So all these apps like let's let me just share an image and you have a better understanding of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they could basically they're in control. Most of these companies are in control of what's going on. So as you can see, Google, Facebook
Yeah.
uh, run most of it. So Facebook owns WhatsApp and
They
also
own us.
Instagram and what? Yeah,
Man, they own
and
100% of me. I feel like they know more about me than I know about me.
of course, they know. Uh, but where we're going with this is basically now with individuals are taking control of their own data and they're trying to monetize their own data rather than Facebook and Google monetizing their data.
Mm-hmm.
And all these banks too. So now where we're going with Web 3.0, everything will be done in a form of like contracts and stuff. I'm not even sure. That's why we're doing this.
Yeah, I
So
think we're
we can
just
learn
grazing the
from.
surface of Web 3.0, right? The possibilities
Yeah.
are endless. But yes, are we right at the brink of this evolution where this next generation of the internet is probably going to be utilizing a lot of blockchain and decentralized tools?
Yeah, of course. And I feel like everything will be more interconnected. Everything is going to be more transparent.
Uh-huh.
Uh, every like just an example, you can if you have a crypto ledger or something, all the contracts and all the transactions you can trace them back. You can go to the ledger and trace them back of how many times uh, let's say you have a good, how many times that good has changed hands or transaction has taken place, or you can
Yeah.
track wallets, how many transactions, how much money that person has in the wallet,
Mm-hmm.
what is that person doing,
So,
what the person is surfing, how many contracts that person has signed, what
yeah.
that person owns. So things are more transparent in that way. So I would say there is
So,
you can't, yeah, yeah.
I think that this is a good segue to talking about this buzzword that's blockchain, right?
Yeah.
Because essentially Web 3.0 is going to be an internet powered by blockchains, an internet that wasn't really possible before. And so the four main things, not four big things I hear, keywords I hear regarding blockchain is Internet of Value, decentralization, trust minimization, and permissionlessness,
Yeah.
which I think you were, kind of segueing into right now too. So, why do these things matter uh, to us right now? Why will they be of value in the coming days?
I think people are just sick and tired of being bombarded with ads and Facebook just having all the information and the
Yeah.
information being leaked. I don't know
And then
on the
Facebook
gra-
making
on
money off of all of that, not even then.
yeah, yeah. I think on personally, I don't really care. They can use my data because they're
Yeah,
making
same here.
my life. They can
Big,
make they're making my life easier.
big man.
Yeah, they're making my life easier by targeting with me with stuff and showing me stuff that I like. Uh,
That's an important
although they,
perspective. Can't
yeah, it
just
is.
demonize
Or
them completely.
yeah, they're like, let's say I'm looking at like a car, and I just recently started looking at cars. They're gonna bombard you with deals and all the new stuff that's coming. How am I supposed to discover this stuff on my own?
Hmm.
And that's the good side to it.
Yep.
Also, the bad side. The bad side is just keep you in a bubble.
Well, of course,
So
bad side is if you believe things like QAnon, and if you believe conspiracy theories that there's a group controlling the whole world, or there's Democrats
yeah,
doing whatever, bad shit out there, then Facebook and Instagram and all these platforms are only going to serve you more conspiracy theories.
yeah. So
Yeah.
there's information censoring and there's information hiding from us. They're keeping us in a bubble. This shouldn't be us. What people because I think their end goal is just keeping us on the platform, right? So just giving us
Yeah.
that rush of dopamine, just giving
Oh
us
my
more
god,
content
man,
so
that
that we,
dopamine. I need a dopamine detox so bad. Just that social media dopamine. It's very badly needed in my life.
so yeah, and uh, what I understand about Web 3.0 is people can just do their own thing.
Yeah,
Like,
and but then there's also, so I was reading that experts are believing that every company will be run by like some sort of a decentralized unit called that they're starting to called DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations,
what
where
is
people
that?
won't, where they
DAOs.
DAOs, exactly, with no CEOs or presidents, and identities not being linked to real identities, and at the moment that stuff sounds a little, a lot of the web 3.0 kind of sounds a little alarming to me as well, some of it at least,
Okay,
some
I
of it
think
also makes me think like this is going to make Ponzi schemes easier, and we're seeing that with all these shit coins blowing up.
okay. I've heard about DAOs. I don't know much about it.
Uh-huh.
Let's just look into this. I
Okay,
know
look
about a
into
company called
this.
DAO Maker. Basically, it's a platform for, I think it's like a Y Combinator type thing.
Uh-huh.
Uh, like a platform where you can raise funds for your cryptocurrency or coin.
Uh-huh.
So so basically, you can have DAOs. So as you can see, all these new Web 3.0 apps, ChatX, Number Protocol,
Mm-hmm.
you can invest in these right now.
Oh,
So
damn.
basically, you're going to be an investor in all these companies, okay? And this is basically okay, venture capital recreated for the masses.
This is
So
what
you
DAO Maker?
basically is DAO Maker, yeah.
DAOmaker.com. Huh.
Yeah, so you can basically invest in as you can buy their crypto or their currency or their token, and you'll be investors.
So
That's where
anyone with even a few $100 in their pocket can just be an angel investor in a startup, you're telling me.
that's what I have understood so far. I could be wrong. That's why we're going to look into this more.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, okay, and also w- similar with NFTs, that's thing to discuss later.
Uh-huh.
Usually for that is also, let's say you need to get a movie made,
Yeah.
and or like a music project, or like I remember Mila Kunis is doing having the show made called
Yep,
Solo
yep.
Tracks or
I
something.
was watching her Hot Ones yesterday and she was pitching
Yeah.
it.
So basically, rather than them going to like a studio or like a producer to get money, they can just fund their whole movie, fund the whole series of everything like NFTs.
Yeah,
So you
NFTs. And
sell
then the
NFTs
audience are
based.
deciding for that show, right? Like how that show is supposed to go or something like that.
Yeah, that's specifically for that show. But
Yeah.
let's say you have like a movie idea, want to get that movie made. You put, oh, I'm trying to get this movie made. I have these credible people, and it's like a, what you call it, crowd raising, but it's not fundraising. People actually have, what you call it, a stake in that
Okay.
project. So I remember there was a project called Disguised Frogs. So when you used to buy these frog NFTs,
Uh-huh.
so where that was going, they were going to make a children's show out of that. So the proceeds from the children's show, the merch, and all of that, depending on how much coins you had staked,
Oh, you're
or
getting
tokens you
some
had.
of that
Oh,
return.
exactly. From the YouTube series, from the game, so you would get some money back from staking that NFT or that coin. Okay,
Ah.
so let's go back into
So
what
in
are DAOs.
today's terminologies, that would mean something like, let's say you have a popular, somewhat popular page on Facebook and stuff, and it's serving some value to people, and people are liking and commenting on it, and so basically you would be making money off of that. Facebook would be paying you for that, but right now Facebook doesn't. None of these platforms pay you. They only get reap all the benefits themselves.
Oh yeah, they only pay the creator.
Yeah. Yep.
So now, essentially, you are getting part, depending on the project and depending on what the utility is, you have a stake in the project. Depending on the project too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I
So
think it depends on the rules and governance of these projects and DAOs
yeah,
as well. So
yeah.
DAOs are basically going to be the decentralized units that are going to be running organizations, huh? Without presidents, without CEOs, without a complete corporate ladder structure that we are so used to in the world of today.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to understand. What exactly is
Is a
a
DAO, right?
DAO?
That is a
Yeah,
Yeah. I think we need to just dive a
I've
little.
searched up. Okay, help me explain it.
Isn't it?
So understanding how a DAO works. So it's essentially like a venture capital fund.
Yeah, and I guess
Based.
the decisions will be made. It says bottom up with no central leadership, right?
Yeah.
The decisions are going to in DAOs are going to be governed by a community organized around like a specific set of rules enforced on a blockchain.
Oh yeah. So the developers of DAO believe they could eliminate human error or manipulation on investor funds by placing decision-making power in the hands of automated systems and crowdsourced process. Okay. So
A
going
crowdsourced.
back to the whole fraud and everything, uh, you can see what all the transactions are going on, who is
Yeah.
where all the money is going. However, that's how they're tracking all these coins that are getting rug pulled. You can see, okay, there's just one big wallet or a couple of big wallets that are just once the price goes up, they just take all the money out.
Uh huh.
That's how they can catch all these people saying, "Oh, this money's going here. So this guy
Yep.
is affiliated. This guy's rug pulled a coin."
So yeah, that addresses I think two of the four points that I had over here with me about Web 3.0, decentralization and trust minimization. But what is this thing, permissionlessness? I hear this a lot too around Web 3.0, and I'm not exactly sure what permissionlessness means in regards to this new era of the internet that we're about to hit. So what is this? Can we look a little bit on what
There's an article here.
permissionlessness means?
There's an article here
Okay.
on Medium. Hopefully, it doesn't ask me to buy it, but okay.
Okay, there you
Uh,
go. We got the free. It looks like you haven't read your 5 articles for today.
of course not. Uh, Word.
Let's see. Do a control F on permission or permissionlessness. Let's see if there's a.
Yeah, so, okay, so the rise of Web 2.0 is largely driven by three core layers: mobile, social, and cloud. Okay. Mobile internet, iPhone, Facebook, social networks, cloud. Okay, companies which are buying and maintaining their own expensive infrastructure and upfront renting of storage. And they could buy like AWS services and things like that. But with blockchain, you're going to store it everywhere on the blockchain. So people on it's like on your own laptop and stuff. So that's what I could be wrong, but I think that's where things are going. 2.0.
Oh, okay. So
So,
this other web page is. Oh, there you go. Permissionlessness. What are they saying right there in the third
okay.
bullet point?
Uh, is a leap forward to open, trustless, and permissionlessness.
Yeah. So that third bullet point. What is it saying?
Yeah. So let's get to it. Open.
All. Yeah.
They are built open source software built by an open, accessible community of developers. Okay. Full view to the world.
Okay. Makes
Trustless.
sense. Which goes into our decentralization basically point of view. Okay. And
Exactly.
then there's the trust minimization, which is this.
A network itself allows participants to interact publicly and privately without trusted third party. Makes sense. So you don't
Exactly.
have like a third
Yeah.
party operating. So let's say you have like credit cards and stuff. I think you would have to have a bank intervening or Stripe intervening for you to make transactions. Although I think you can just have it by just pasting your address and
Yeah. Yeah.
like that.
And then there's
Permission.
permissionlessness. What is
Yeah.
that? Wrap my head around it, please, or
Uh,
wrap that around my head, please.
Both users and suppliers can participate without authorization from governing bodies. So
Okay, that now it's making a little more sense. It's like a transparent community, right, of developers, which
yeah,
means participants can interact without intermediaries harvesting their data all the fucking time, like in Web 2.0.
yeah. So
Right.
this could be, from what I understand, let's say you have right now there. I would say there's like the seller, the middleman, and the buyer.
Yeah,
I think
and
that's
depending on the organization structure you are in, there are a lot of middlemen, right? Not just one.
yeah,
Sometimes there's one
yeah.
party, sometimes there's a whole ladder in the middle.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Right.
I'm just categorizing
Yeah.
everything in the middle.
Yeah.
Like, let's say you're doing this Shopify, you have a
Uh-huh.
Shopify store. You're going through Shopify, you're going through Shopify Pay, you're either going through Shopify Pay or Stripe. And how are you paying through Shopify and Stripe? You're going through your bank credit card. How are these people communicating with each other? They have their own plugins and extensions on Shopify that you can use to build on your store and gather more data and things like that. So
Uh-huh.
there's taking all of that out.
Makes sense. Okay, it makes sense. So, um, do you wanna come into um, the use case of basically?
Okay,
Uh,
so I think we have to take a step back.
okay.
So Web 2.0 was driven by uh, mobile, social, and cloud. Web 3.0
And it
is
was
built
completely
largely,
powered by databases, right?
yeah,
Databases and centralized servers versus now we are looking at these machines all over the world doing mini calculations with to keep Web 3.0
running
running,
basically. Yeah, they're
right?
just validating and writing down all where everything is going, who is where all the things are switching hands. Basically, in order for something to be on the ledger and something has to be good, there has to be 51% of the computers doing the computation should say, yeah, this is good to go. And
So
they
before,
can put
I
it
think
as,
you just jumped into ledgers. I think maybe we just
okay,
start
yeah,
with
yeah, but
blockchain. Start with
let,
the word blockchain
I think
itself, right?
I think we should take a step back and
Yeah.
look at what Web 3.0 was. So Web 3.0 on three new layers of technological innovation: edge computing, decentralized data networks, and
Uh-huh.
artificial intelligence.
And we
This
know
just
that
word,
this is being powered by a big player that's powering this is blockchain. So now,
yeah.
what is that?
So yeah, so I don't know the definition. Let's put it up.
It's
I
this is one of
buzzword.
those words that you hear people use so many times. And if I
Yeah,
started asking everyone who mentions blockchain what it means, I bet that 8 out of 10 people would not be able to answer.
I think 8 out of 10 people would say Bitcoin.
Oh,
That is the
is
definition of
Bitcoin
blockchain.
Ethereum?
Bitcoin. Uh,
That's
yeah,
true.
so I know what it is. I don't know the definition. Maybe I don't even know. I could be wrong, but let's
Let's
see.
base it. Let's start off the actual definition, formal definition, and then
Okay,
we'll dive into
blockchain.
it.
Yeah, the blockchain is a system of recording information in a way that makes it difficult or impossible to change, hack, or cheat the system. A blockchain is essentially a digital ledger, a book, or like uh, transactions, or like uh, I don't know the exact word. Well, I think ledger is a good word, but a ledger of transactions that is duplicated and distributed across the entire network of computers systems on the blockchain. So, did you understand what this
Yeah,
means?
yeah, kind of. And then a similar definition I'm looking at my screen is that it blockchain is these are two there are two words in bold over here. A blockchain is a distributed, that's the first word, and immutable, that's the second bold
Yeah,
word.
yeah,
Ledger that allows you to track tangible or intangible goods. That's it. This
exactly.
is the
So,
one liner for.
it, it is, yeah. So, it is
So
difficult
let's
or
focus on these two
impossible to
things. What
change.
is distributed? What do you mean by immutable? And what is a distributed and immutable ledger? And how is that putting competition to currencies, banks, and everything?
Okay, so I think we have to look into this. But from my understanding is what the banks are doing is keeping track of all the transactions we are doing. They are
Yeah.
sending money here and there when seller A is asking the buyer,
Yeah.
"Oh, I want money." They're asking to a bank, so the bank is doing all the transactions, getting the money from our bank account and sending it there,
Yeah. Yeah.
and getting their fee in between, and they're basically moving the money around. They're basically the brain of the
And
operation,
they're
doing all the
keeping
computation.
basically I think the main task they do every day, of course, if I buy a burrito for $6, the bank doesn't actually take $6 in cash and give it to the guy, the burrito guy's bank, right? It actually just keeps a log of that transaction, and at the end of the month the bank just adds and subtracts all the logs and gives me my statement. So the bank is essentially just keeping a track of my transactions, and that's pretty much it, right?
Yeah, and they're just making it uh, easy to use for all of us. And but we don't know what's going on at the back. They have their own cut in the middle, and how many
Exactly, and
times it's
they're
changing
also
hands.
investing
That
my
was
money in the back, right? They're taking
yeah,
it their own interests on my money.
exactly. Uh, so what the blockchain, I think, when they say it is immutable and
Distribute. So
it is
distributed. Let's do distributed first. What does that mean? That there's a single source of truth? Distributed means that not one. So if Bank of America gets hacked right now, I'm probably a little fucked. But if my money is on a blockchain, then probably millions or hundreds of thousands of nodes in the world have the exact data that can compute how much money is in Ares Baki's bank account. They have those logs
Oh yeah, yeah,
available to them.
yeah,
So there is no chance of this being held in one single database, centralized database.
yeah. So basically, distributed was, I think let's just say there are 100 computers
Uh huh.
that are going to maintain the ledger around the world.
Yeah.
As long as 51% of those computers agree, okay, this transaction is taking place, Ares has this much crypto in his or money in his bank account. He's sending this money over to me. Let's say he's sending it over to me. So my wallet is there. You're going to send this much money to my wallet. 51% of the computers, at least 51% of the computers have to say, okay, this transaction is valid and good to go because this guy wants to send money. Let's put this transaction on the ledger and write it down. This is no fraud.
Okay.
No fraud is going on. This guy actually has this much money to send over to this guy.
Uh huh.
Uh, as long as 51% of the people or computers on the blockchain agree, that transaction is done. Uh, if 50, it is impossible or super difficult to perform 51% attack, which is basically trying to figure out what all computers are doing this, basically manipulating the
Yeah.
blockchain so that 51% of the computers would say, okay, this transaction is legal even if it's not,
Yeah. And
to
if this
basically
ledger
change the ledger.
exists on so many different nodes, then this distributed system that kind of entails why it's immutable, right? And why it's so
Yeah,
impossible to let's say hack it or
yeah.
do something like that.
Exactly. So let's just look at that's what I've understood
You
to
zoom
this
in a little
point.
bit. Zoom in.
Yeah, I've understood till this point. I'm going to look into it.
Okay, that's perfect.
Okay. So a transaction is requested and authenticated. Okay.
Okay. A block
A
representing.
blockchain,
Go ahead. Go ahead. You read it.
a block representing the transaction is created. Okay. Let's say, oh, you want to send me some money. You basically paste my wallet address in there. I want to send one Bitcoin over to me. You make that block. Okay, transaction done. Uh, Block is created representing that transaction. The block is sent to every node or participant in the network. So these are, I would say, the miners or the people mining or doing all the computations on the computers who have these big GPUs just running all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, Basically, mining is basically doing all these intense
Yeah.
computational tasks
And
of basically computing where all of the money is
yeah,
coming and going, and they get rewarded with which are the fees that we pay, the gas fees, the network fees, and all of that.
that's what's going
Those
to them.
that so
And I
goes to
think
my
one
friend.
more important part to mention right here in the process is hashes, because those also contribute to the security, the validation, and the immutability of blockchain itself, right? Because
What's
all
that?
of these,
What's that?
so all of these transactions that are being validated by miners,
Yeah,
one of the key components of this validation is hashes, which means they're computing hashes and verifying transactions, or if not transactions, then some kind of tracking is being verified with hashes, which are which is kind of encrypted form of data, which contributes, all of that contributes again to the immutability of blockchain and why it is so secure, to have a good or a tracked, whether it's tangible or intangible, on a ledger.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Makes complete sense. So okay, let's
Okay, you were
look.
at number three.
Okay, okay. So yeah, so the block is sent to the node, the participants of the network, which are basically performing 51%. It's good to go. Once the 51% have said, okay, it's good to go, nodes are validated, the transaction is validated, the node receives a reward, proof of stake, proof of work. This is what the miners are getting
Yeah.
typically in
Yeah.
cryptocurrency. Okay, you did this work. Here you go. Here's your reward for updating the ledger and validating the transaction. The block is added to the existing blockchain. Okay, so this once this block was created, all these computers, it was sent to these computers. These computers said, okay, this block is valid. Here's the money to the computers or the nodes saying, okay, good job. Let's add this to the blockchain. Let's keep building on it. Okay, the update is distributed across the network. So basically, the whole network is updated, saying, okay, now Aris from the 5 bitcoins Aris Baki had, he has sent one over to me.
Yeah.
So now he has four, I have one. Let's update the whole network to see because there is a finite amount of these coins. This is specifically talking about Bitcoin right now. We specific amount of Bitcoin in the world, so we have to keep track so that we can't fake like if there is 1,000 Bitcoin in the world right now, then all of a sudden there can't be 2,000 Bitcoins in the world because the supply is finite. So the update is distributed across the network, so every ledger knows, everyone knows where the money is going. So
And
uh,
that's I think one of the basic things that's so different between a blockchain and a database, right? A database is it's
yeah,
only known by the centralized system. Then there's DNS
yeah,
systems all across that are caching things, but at the end
yeah.
of the day, the source of truth is in a centralized database versus the source in blockchain. The source of truth is in a peer-to-peer network across many nodes, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hence the words open, trustless, and permissionless come into play
Yep.
again.
Okay. Okay.
And then the transaction is complete once the ledger is updated. That is basically how a blockchain transaction is. This is a very simple
Yeah.
version of it. Okay, this is basically, let's say this is transfer of money. Okay, this is what Bitcoin was intended to be
Okay.
and how things are going to go. Now things have gotten a bit complicated. Now we have contracts and all of that with Ethereum. So
Yeah.
we're basically God only send money and stuff like that. Uh, I've looked into this. So what is
And
and
I think there's going to be a we have to have a follow up talk on just the architecture of a blockchain itself, right? So that we
oh
can
yeah,
better understand and explain what is going on inside. There's also different kinds of ledgers, so that's a whole other conversation right there too.
oh yeah, for sure. Uh, so
And I'm for one also, and I'm sure the same goes for you. I'm interested in the architecture of blockchains, not just to know the topic, but also as a software engineer, which both of us are, right? I think it would benefit to know that architecture and the algorithms that are supporting the current technologies out there.
yeah, yeah. So then after Bitcoin, the most I think famous cryptocurrency is Ethereum.
Yeah,
So Ethereum is
absolutely.
more complex than Bitcoin. It is a full infrastructure of
And
basically
most NFTs, again, we haven't gone into NFTs yet. That's another buzzword. It's another
yeah,
thing
yeah.
topic. But most NFTs are exist on the Ethereum blockchain, correct? Or most
Well,
big ones are
well, mm, there are many.
okay.
I think Ethereum was the OG
Okay.
in 2018.
Okay.
So all these the big ones that you hear about, CryptoPunks and all these have been made since 2017, 18.
Okay.
These were there before. They're not new.
Got it.
I think now there's so many different uh, uh, blockchains and like smart contract coins, like tokens, basically like Solana, Tezos, uh, Ripple, yeah, and many others.
Yeah.
So they have their own what do you call it, NFTs and things on their own blockchain.
Yeah. Yeah.
So okay, from what I understand is, if you can see right now, Ethereum, if you want to go and sell your house, uh, right now you have like the buyer in the and this is the seller, and see how people are in the middle, lawyers,
Yeah, there's the
brokers,
bank, there's the
insurance.
lawyer, there's the real estate agent, there's the
In,
city, taxes and
Yeah.
a bunch of shit.
Exactly. There's a bunch of shit.
Mm-hmm.
So these people, insurance lawyers and brokers, these guys just make contracts, say saying, okay, this transaction is legit. They're just making documents
Yep.
entailing that this is legit and everything is so that it can't be fake basically, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So they're making all the documents. What smart contract allows is you can make these contracts that will live on the ledger once this uh, Bob wants to sell his house to Alice,
Uh-huh.
they both he will send this contract over to her, she will sign it, and that contract will live on the blockchain, which cannot be edited, it cannot be what you call it, fake, anything like that, which is on there. So lawyers, brokers, insurance people, these guys will be cut out of the equation altogether because these guys are making the trust of this transaction,
And
right?
this can
You don't
also
know.
solve a lot of in a lot of areas of the world real estate fraud, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Anything fraud, real estate, car fraud, anything.
Yeah.
Once you're buying
Fraud related to any
anything.
kind of transaction.
Oh yeah. So and if you want to, let's say Alice sells it over to someone else later, all she has to do is make a new contract or transfer the initial contract over to someone else.
Uh-huh.
Say, and you can see online on the ledger. Okay, the first owner was Bob, then it's Alice, now it's Tom, and you can see everything, how many times this property changed hands. All these lawyers, brokers, insurance fees would go out. You just have this one thing that dictates everything, and you can see it's verified, everything is good. Uh, Same
Understood.
with less, I'll give you a easier example.
Uh-huh.
Uh, so I don't know how you pay rent. Uh, right? People usually give like post-dated checks, right?
Yeah.
Once they're getting like an apartment or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's say you're getting an apartment, you have to give the first 12 post-dated checks. Rather than that, uh, you just uh, have a wallet with your crypto,
Mm-hmm.
or and your landlord also has their wallet. You
Mm-hmm.
basically make a contract saying, okay, on the first of every month, one Bitcoin, very expensive place, one Bitcoin is going to be transferred, or one Ethereum is going to be transferred from my bank account to my landlord's bank account automatically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Wallet, you
there is
mean?
that wallet
Yeah.
basically. So there is a contract in the middle. I sign the contract, he signs the contract. So
That
on the first of
contract
every
now
month,
is on the blockchain, validated on the
blockchain.
blockchain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not talking about transferring anything, nothing. This is basically
It's just the
right
contract.
now right now the contract we signed. This is basically going to be that, and on the first, and we're agreeing. Okay, on the first of every month at 2 p.m., I'm going to send one Ethereum from my wallet to that person's wallet,
Yeah.
and it's going to go on by itself,
Yeah. Yeah.
rather than having a lawyer in the middle or the broker or the insurance
Exactly.
person,
And
or
your
people.
contract exists on a ledger, your wallet exists on a ledger. So again,
Yeah,
everything is out there. There's less chances of fraud. The source of truth
yeah,
is available to everyone, and it's a basically a value internet of value right there, right?
yeah.
So um, I'm
Here's an
gonna go ahead.
Or yeah, here's another example. This
Yeah.
makes
Yeah.
it easier. So, sells house, buys house, match buyer with seller. Okay,
Uh-huh.
exchange, contract receives assets, contract distributes assets. That's it. ठीक है.
Mm-hmm.
Registry है.
Yeah.
Owner is undisputed, clearing that the statement is automated. Everything is automated. Currency is digitized. ठीक है.
Yeah.
The land deed is digitized. So everything is here, everything lives here. So once this person exchanges it, this all of this goes here. So everything lives here.
Yeah.
You can't fake this. You can't have fake documents, and you can't say this did not happen when clearly you did never send me the money. You're this money short. You're this anything, things like that.
Yeah.
This contract is upholding you, and this ledger is basically validating everything.
Understood. Understood. So okay, I get that this is going to be great for the future of decentralized organizations. I get this is blockchain and Web 3.0 is going to be big. But tell me this: what the hell does this centralized public record have to do with cat gifts selling for millions of dollars? What the hell is a non-fungible token? And how is that related to
I
this
wish,
technology now?
I wish I knew, but I think
That's also another word where people are using NFTs left and right. Yo, I just bought this, I just bought this. But then you're like, okay, what is an NFT? And
I think we are getting way ahead of ourselves right now.
that's
Okay,
true.
we can look into it a bit, but
I
I
think we
think
could graze over it, but we will
oh,
definitely have a whole
okay.
hour on a whole other
Yeah, yeah,
episode
yeah.
on just
No. I
NFTs.
think yeah, yeah. I think we should look. The next suitable step would be looking into smart contracts
Yeah, yeah.
and how to make smart contracts, how they're made, what their uses are,
Okay.
and the different kinds of networks that are providing these smart contract tokens like Ethereum, Solana. Ethereum, the main thing right now is Ethereum put the groundwork for this, but Ethereum gas fees are so much right now
Crazy. It's
that they're waiting for,
absolutely crazy.
yeah, they're waiting for Ethereum 2.0. So the Ethereum killer is Ethereum itself. So
Oh
if
my god.
Ethereum can like it lowers gas fees and things like that and make some things better. I think Ethereum is going to go anywhere, but I think we should look into smart contracts and how the utility of smart contracts next.
Uh-huh.
But NFTs, okay,
Okay, so just a
non-fungible
quick,
token.
we need to just have a quick graze over what the hell is. Well, let's take non and fungible out of it, non and token out of it, right? What
Okay,
the
a
hell does
non-fungible
fungible
token.
mean?
Okay, okay.
Is uh,
Fungible, a
my
non-fungible token at a
unders
basic level.
yeah, good.
An
Um,
NFT is a digital asset which links ownership to a unique physical or digital item, such as a work of art, real estate, music, or video. ठीक है? NFT can be considered as a modern day collectible. How I look at NFTs
uh,
are basically NFTs are, I would say, also like contracts, but not contracts. They are like
For me, I
some.
feel like if I wanted to, I was really thinking hard on what's the one word I could replace with fungible and keep the meaning of NFT same. So I was thinking replaceable. Replaceable could be a good word to make this three-word phrase easy. A non-replaceable token would mean the same thing,
So
correct?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
you could say that.
something like
So
that. And
so
then yeah.
yeah, NFTs have many utilities. They are, I think they are the future.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, right now they're just pictures. All you see is these GIFs and pictures. That is one side of it. Okay, that is just the tip of the iceberg. That is
That's the
just
side people are looking at and calling this some fad.
okay. That is just the tip of the iceberg. Okay, that is just people are just looking at the images, the GIFs, these crypto punks.
Yeah.
Uh, that is basically having like let's say a Basquiat painting or
Yeah.
like a Mona Lisa
Yeah, exactly.
or
So I
like
had
what?
this written in my on my page too. When I was just trying to distinguish between fungible and non-fungible, I was like, okay,
Yeah,
if a regular painter makes 100 of the same paintings, and
yeah,
he is not popular, he's not there's no hype around him. All of those paintings are basically fungible, but the Mona
yeah,
Lisa is not non-fungible, right? Any
yeah,
of Pablo Picasso's paintings are non-fungible. Any one thing that has so a Uniqlo jacket, white puffy jacket, that there's 10,000 of those made in China every 6 months. All of those are fungible, but if Michael Jackson had put on one of those jackets in one of his shows and he took it off, that particular jacket, even though it looks and feels the same as 999 other jackets, that jacket is non-fungible, and it has some value to it where it's not, where it
oh
could be,
yeah,
if it's
that
tokenized, it can be a non-replaceable token, non-fungible
yeah
token,
that
right?
that is yeah that is what it comes down to. This store of you're just saying, okay, you can see, okay, I have this real piece. This is
Uh-huh.
real. This is legit. If you want to confirm it's legit, you can go to my ledger and see. Yeah, this is coming. This jacket is coming from Michael Jackson.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Michael Jackson had
And the
this
ledger
jacket at
proves
one.
it.
Yeah, and this is legit. This is coming from Michael Jackson himself. So you can't fake it or anything else. It's basically kind of like a flex too at the same time.
Yeah, yeah.
But uh, that's why do people buy art, first of all?
Exactly. Oh, that's the best example. Like Pablo Picasso's
Okay,
paintings will sell for tens of millions of dollars. Why? Someone
okay,
in
it's like,
today's day and age could potentially make a better painting just
yeah,
by
yeah.
going off the painting, right?
But all of the things that these NFTs also do for the artist is that I'm just talking about just these pictures right now.
Yeah,
Okay, there's no utility. These are just literally JPEGs that I can literally copy and paste,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that doesn't mean I own it. So it, having a JPEG doesn't mean I own it. I can still have the picture. I can take pictures of the Mona Lisa. I can still have, like, if I Google Mona Lisa right now, doesn't mean I have own a, like I own the Mona Lisa. I can make a printout right now. Okay. Uh, what I was saying, what was I saying? I forgot.
You were going
Yeah.
off.
So
I can
the
download it if I want to, but
yeah, you can. But I'm going back. So how the artist benefits is every time, let's say, okay, Pablo Picasso made the Mona Lisa, put it on the blockchain. It's an NFT now.
I think wasn't it Da Vinci?
Oh, Da Vinci,
Yeah,
Da
yeah,
Vinci,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, so he made the Mona Lisa. He minted it on the Ethereum blockchain. RAs likes it. RAs buys it. You bought one Ethereum. I like it. I'll give you two Ethereum for it. You send it over to me. So every transaction that Mona Lisa takes place in, Leonardo da Vinci gets his cut from every transaction, rather than the painting itself. If there was a physical painting,
Yeah,
once Ari sell it to me, Leonardo da Vinci does not see that money. He does
exactly,
not know where the painting is. Okay, you
exactly.
can see where the painting is, but you don't know where the painting is. You don't know. I could make fakes of this painting, literally precise, like copies of this painting and sell it if people won't know.
Yep, yep, yep.
But because it's on the blockchain, people know where it is. Leonardo da Vinci is getting his cut from every transaction. Okay, so he's getting royalties
Yeah.
from the picture. Uh, then music, Tory Lanez put out an album like this. Tory actually put out two albums on the blockchain as NFTs. So you
Uh-huh.
basically have people buy records and stuff, right? CDs, records. People don't buy CDs anymore, but records still come out. So imagine having a copy of that album and
That
you own that album
specifically.
and you can
Yeah.
sell it forward. So these artists will also be funded by their fans rather than these record companies and
So
all
is this
that.
just modern day pawn shop collectibles?
No, no.
No.
No, I'm
I
just
have the
giving
first
the
edition
answer.
comic of Spider-Man physically.
Yeah,
Is that not an old
that's a
version, an
flex.
older version of today's NFT?
That is just a flex. Not gonna lie, that is just a
But
flex.
isn't
That
this
is just
also just a flex? Owning a LeBron James dunk, I buy it. Of course,
oh
it's of value. I can sell it for more value. But at the end of the day, value is being created for entities that have no inherent value, and that has been going on for ages, for civilizations,
yeah,
right?
yeah. So see all these new sneakers coming out, especially Nike sneakers. Why are they selling for so much?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you know they're legit. Okay, there's this
There's some
hype behind
stories,
it.
some
There's
hype
this
behind it. Yeah,
there, this is we're only looking at the hype side of it. Okay,
yeah, yeah,
this
yeah.
is this is the imagine, like Gary Vee says, imagine having skin on Fortnite and you're the only person. Why do people buy skins on Fortnite? To basically, it doesn't enhance their character, it doesn't enhance their ability in the
It's
game.
just a
It's
flex.
just a look in the game, and
Yeah,
people buy that.
yeah,
And you would buy that too if you played enough.
yeah.
Uh, l- where things are going with the metaverse and all of that, all of these non-fungible tokens, we're going to have these digital worlds like Decentralized and all this. You
Yeah.
can display your art, your assets in that world. So right now, we have things at our house. We have paintings and things. People come, people see what we have. Okay, I like this painting, so I bought it. I'm gonna put it up at my house. I like this jacket, so I'm gonna buy this jacket.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unlike that, people in the future are gonna wear their headsets, go in the metaverse, and be like, "Oh, I like your jacket. Oh, this is a skin from Fortnite, so that's basically going to be the NFT jacket that you're wearing in the game. You're going to have the NFT Mona Lisa in your
Yeah.
house,
And
and
all those
things like
digital
that."
assets being tracked on a ledger,
Yeah,
all of them
yeah,
being verified and authentic.
yeah.
Um,
Okay, so these are only the painting side of NFTs. Then there is the other aspect like Zedrun, where you can breed and raise horses. So these horses are basically NFTs. You can buy these horses. These horses have attributes. This is basically horse
yeah.
racing on the blockchain. So
There's
you
even
play.
tweets now.
eh,
Twitter founder's first tweet got sold for like a couple million or something.
Yeah, 100%. Like, see, they're having ads on here. Okay, next to run all of these, they're still loading right now. But our upcoming races, rather than going to the horse track, uh, real horse track with like racing these horses on the block. Okay, this is streaming right now. This is a live event happening right
God
now, as
damn.
you can see. Okay, all of these horses are NFTs. All of
Oh
these
my
horses have
god.
attributes. Okay, people have bred these horses. People have like people can breed two horses with the two NFTs breeding to make another NFT with shared attributes. Okay, so the
Oh my
whichever
god.
horse wins right now is gonna get money,
Yeah.
which is this is basically horse racing,
Yeah.
but on the blockchain. It looks cool. Uh,
It looks cool. I don't think I'd put my money into it though.
oh, it's just one of it. So NASCAR has partnered with Zedrun. So
Oh
NASCAR
really?
racing is gonna happen like this.
Oh my
You're gonna
god.
have these NFT race cars, and you're gonna
Seriously.
race them, and whoever wins is gonna get money. So yeah,
God damn.
imagine have no, you won't get into it. Okay, let's say
But in the
you have
metaverse, I might get into it.
yeah. So okay, let's say you have a football team and you
Yeah.
have these players in your team.
Yeah.
You have to get all these best players. So all of these players in the team are NFTs. So you would have to make, let's say Ronaldo is an NFT player, Messi is an NFT player. All of these people are NFTs. See how this horse is winning?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, this horse probably has amazing attributes.
This
And
guy's
this horse probably,
fucking
yeah,
gunning for it, man.
yeah, probably has a lot. This horse is probably worth a lot, and you can go and check what's his name.
Intuitive Flash.
Intuitive Flash. All right. He probably won. If he doesn't won, if he doesn't win, won. Okay, Intuitive Flash. Okay, now I can go and see who owns Intuitive Flash. I can see what that guy has in wallet. What that guy. Okay, Ganapiti Ashwa has Intuitive Flash right now.
All-time
This horse,
average
this one.
price 0.11.
Okay,
We got
this.
some information on it. There is
Okay,
transfers.
okay, yeah. You can see where this horse came from. This null address, meaning it was minted, it was born this day.
Yeah.
This person had it. This person transferred it to ETubs to Ganapati for
Hmm.
0.11 Ethereum. Okay, this guy just won a race. This guy probably got some money from that race.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, this is a nice horse. You can go to tools like Rarity and see the horses with attributes and different attributes.
My
Uh,
goodness.
okay, you can go to Ganapati Ashwa's account and see what all this person has. So
What?
this guy has so
What's
many
the
horses.
portfolio? Yeah. Yeah. Guy's a big horse racer.
Yeah, and this one NFT, other NFT. So yeah, this guy is probably breeding these horses, selling these horses, things like that.
Cool. Cool. So Sherry, we're at 59 minutes. I think we decided that we would keep our episodes at around an hour.
Yeah.
So where do we, we'll circle back to Web 3.0 and discuss what all we want to discuss in some of the next episodes. So what we really went over in the past 59 minutes was we started with Web 1.0, 2.0, jumped into 3.0, explained how this evolution is kind of powered by blockchain, dove into blockchain a little bit, its rules, what the ledger is, what the some of the use cases that we are seeing these days. The biggest of which is, of course, cryptocurrencies, and a new one being NFTs, which is also kind of powered by cryptocurrencies. So there's smart contracts, there's blockchain architecture from a software point of view, and then there's the whole world of NFTs still to be explored because we just barely grazed the field. What do we do next in terms of our talk next week, and where are we going with Web 3.0? We didn't even, I think we only said the words metaverse once or twice today. So there's a whole, gotta go into that world as well.
Baby steps. I think we should just look into the next thing we should look into is smart contracts. All these different
smart
DeFi,
contracts, what a token is from the basic, from the gist of it. How are things being tokenized? How is art, tweet, pictures, videos being tokenized?
I think we should look into security tokens. What is a security token? What is a utility token?
Okay.
What is a smart contract, and how a smart contract is made?
Okay.
I think that is the next thing we should look at, and we should try to make a basic smart contract.
All right. Let's do the,
and then we can get the ball rolling from there. There's proof of stake, then the NFTs, DeFi, all of the different utilities. But we have to understand what these are and how these things are made to understand the different utilities. There's so many things we can do this, but you have to. I don't even know. I just hear things.
Not completely. We need to look at the playing field. And kind of analyze it before diving any deeper into it. So all right, so we'll do smart contracts next week, same time. I think this was a very successful start, and now that we've started, hopefully we will not hit the roadblocks that we've been hitting for the past 2 months because of you.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Chal, I think this was great, man. I think this is going to lead to some great communication, information exchanging, and also just studying and finding out more about shit. So smart contracts next. Do you have a catchphrase you want to close with?
Keep on rocking in the free world.
What was Hulk Hogan's catchphrase? What? All right. Ending the stream in 3, 2.